Hello, how are you? This is Alex, real estate owner here, AG Realty in Lafayette, West Lafayette area. Just wanted to do a quick video regarding should I rent or should I buy? It is the ultimate question for many first-time home buyers, and let's get into the video. Should you rent or should you buy in this current market? Please like and subscribe and follow me for more. If you have any questions specifically, you could reach out to me and shoot me a text message and I'll be more than happy to touch base with you. But let's get into the video. So rent or buy. I mean, it's really simple for me. If you are completely unsure that you're gonna be living in Lafayette for more than 2 years, then maybe rent. However, if after year one goes by and you're about to renew your lease again and you have any kind of inkling that you're gonna stay here for a couple more years after that, probably at that time you should start asking questions of buying and looking into your affordability factors, maybe getting pre-approved and seeing what your options are before you renew that lease. So if you're gonna stay in town for a year or two and less, then yeah, okay, fine, rent. I mean, even if you bought something and sold it 2 years later, you probably will make money. So it's not completely out of the realm for you to buy a home, live in it for a year and a half, and then sell it. Very normal, happens all the time, and you still get the tax breaks and you still, building some equity depending on if you did any type of renovations during that short period of time. The other thing with renting is, of course, every time you renew that lease, whether it's on a 6-month basis or a yearly basis, your rent's gonna go up. Your rent is gonna go up. When you have a mortgage, your mortgage payment never goes up. Year after year after year after year, your mortgage payment stays the same. So think about that for a second. I'm seeing people renting 2-bedroom apartments for $1,300 a month. Mind blowing. $1,300 a month for a 2-bedroom. You could buy a house. You could buy a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath home for about $160, $170, and your mortgage payments will be around that. I mean, I'm almost speechless. So if it's a complete financial decision, you could afford a $1,300 a month apartment. You can certainly afford a $1,300 to $1,500 a month mortgage payment, in which I will remind you, you will get a tax break and you will be building equity so that when you do decide to sell, whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10, look at the equity that you've built up. And would not be a bad step in home ownership to build equity for your first home, and then that equity could help you purchase your next home once you have a more definitive answer of where you'd like to live, whether it's Texas or wherever. You could take that money with you, right, and buy a home wherever it is that life takes you next. So should you rent, should you buy? Simple. If you're gonna be in town for less than 2 years, maybe rent, see if you really wanna live here. If after your first year, year and a half, you're kind of feeling the vibe and life has changed a little bit and your career is settling in and you're here in town, you probably wanna consider buying a home sooner than later. Most of my clients wait 5-6 years, flash before their eyes, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're still renting. Let's go buy something." And no one wants to talk about how much their rent went up from 5 years ago to what they're paying now. Nobody ever tells you that. No one ever tells you that there's $500 more a month, because it's probably $100 more a year. And if they've been there 5 years, so you do the math. So no one wants to talk about that number, never. But the point is, renting and have nothing in return, buy something and build equity, have a tax break. That's really it. What the process is very simple. You touch base with someone like myself. We'll ask you some questions. We'll make sure that you're ready to make a home purchase in this market. The next step after that is to get you pre-approved with a local lender here in the area, and we could see a more definitive answer to what really your options are in home buying, right? Affordability factors, debt to income ratios, credit, I mean, all sorts of other stuff. So that's another reason why if you're here for a year, you've been renting, at the very least, you should go through that process to see what your options are. If you still have to rent for one more year because there's some things you need to do to put yourself in a position to buy, then great. Do that sooner than later so that you're not renting for 4 years. Maybe you're only renting for 2 while you're, taking some steps to get you in a position to buy. So it's not a hard process. It's a simple process. One last thing I want to clarify, not all the proper information is in Google. You're not going to find all the proper information. There is no first-time home buyer program. Just stop. The only program that's out there to help first-time home buyers is an FHA loan, and the only way that helps is that it allows you to provide 3.5% down of the purchase price. That's it. They'll look at your debt to income ratio maybe a little different. They'll give you a little bit more flexibility there versus a conventional loan. However, it comes at a cost, right? Higher closing costs, PMI, which is your primary mortgage insurance that they're going to charge you. So yes, it'll allow you to get into home ownership with a lower down payment as long as you have the affordability. But there is no such thing, and by the way, that FHA, anyone can get the FHA. Someone that has bought 3 homes in their lifetime can get an FHA loan again, just because maybe they want to use a 3.5% down deal. But there is no first-time home buyer program. Anyone that tells you that, they're lying to you. It's a myth. It doesn't exist. I've never seen it. No lender has ever seen it. There is no such thing, okay? Please I want to make that super clear. There is no such thing. So you got to have your down payment put together. Yes, there are some programs where there will be some down payment assistance, but again, that's not a first-time home buyer program because anyone can get that. But down payment assistance, it comes with its issues as well. For example, they may limit you where you can buy the home. For example, if you're trying to get a USDA loan, it's going to be outside the city limits. You're looking into country, right? Like you're in the middle of nowhere, they'll go ahead and give you a loan with 0 down. So if you're okay with living 30 minutes from town, 35 minutes from town, then maybe that could be an option for you. Down payment assistance program, depending on which one, you'd have to touch base with your lender to see what you qualify for and what's available at that time. And again, that comes with its issues as well, because even though you may qualify for down payment assistance, when you put an offer in to buy the home, the seller may not like that so much and look at you as a weak buyer, meaning you're not strong enough and there's a high potential rate that this deal may fall apart 3 weeks later because, again, you as the buyer are not bringing anything to the table because you are going FHA and using a down payment assistance program. So I highly caution you with that as well because, again, that could be a factor of why you won't be able to buy a house and why a home seller may not want to do business with you based on those items by themselves. So just think of that because that's real talk, that's real estate, that's real nitty gritty when it really comes down to it. So although it's very happy-go-lucky, like, hey, you got pre-approved for FHA. Oh, by the way, we'll get you down payment assistance. That's totally cool. Don't worry about it. And then you go looking for homes and you can't find nothing, right? So there's a give and take in everything. So please just keep that in mind. And we could have a conversation about that, and I could further explain some of the pros and cons to taking that road. But your loan officer will be the best, most qualified person to explain all of that to you to see exactly what your options are, because not everyone is going to qualify for almost anyone qualify for the FHA for the down payment assistance. You know, they're going to look at your job time, your job income. If you make too much money, forget it. They're not going to give it to you. You know, so there's all sorts of different variables like that to highly consider. But if you have any questions about if you should rent or you should buy, a 10-minute phone call probably will answer a lot of questions for you, and you can start taking steps on determining if that's right for you. Alex, please like and subscribe. If you think you found this video a little useful to you, please share it with maybe some of your friends that are thinking about renewing their lease or buying, or they're kind of caught in the middle and maybe don't have enough answers to their questions so they can make an educated decision. See you till the next video.